No question, this is a huge year for the Memorial Tournament, the 50th anniversary of Jack's tournament. And we're going to break it down with Adam King, Nicole Shearin, and our man Skip Mosic, the host of Tee to Green Saturdays on 97.1 The Fan. Skip, we'll start with you. Jack Nicklaus told me the other day that the Memorial Tournament was designed after the Masters, after Augusta. But he also went on to say that he thinks they do a better job of running the tournament than the Masters, and that he thinks Muirfield's better than Augusta. What do you think of that?
There's first of all, I'm never going to argue with what Jack Nicklaus has to say, so I'm just going to leave it at that. However, there's no doubt when you look at the comparisons over the years as far as the design of Muirfield Village, Dom, the way they have things set up, the hole number 12, a par 3 over water, just as a coincidence. There's so many things that it was modeled after the
leaderboards.
The leaderboards that were there, the way the caddies are dressed, everything that you see. It definitely reminds you of Augusta and of the Masters, and there are some things that they do better than as far as they do down at Augusta. Now, Augusta is terrific what they do, but this is the best run, the best treated as far as any of the players are concerned that they're going to get all year long on tour.
And they tell you, and they admit.
Absolutely they do.
Following up with that, Adam, some say this is the fifth major. I've asked Jack about it. He goes, "That's not for me to decide." But the some that are saying it are the players that say they're treated like nowhere else when they come here. They have told me from the 50 years of covering this tournament that this thing is like the fifth major.
It 100% is like the fifth major, and I think there are a lot of guys that it carries a different kind of weight than any other tournament solely because of Jack. I think when you have the greatest golfer of all time as the man meeting you on the 18th green, there is no other tournament in the PGA that's like that, in the world that's like that, and that's what makes it so special. But it's also the challenge that the course presents. I mean, I don't know. I've been diving into the forecast a little bit, but looks like we're not going to get as much rain as is expected. And all I know is we've had enough rain that Jack can grow that rough up as high as he wants. And so, I mean, you can sometimes out there, I think it was a few years ago, where 8 under won it, and it felt like the guys were grinding to get to 8 under. So I think it's the tests that the course produces, the way they treat them, and the pageantry that comes with being Jack's tournament.
Nicole, how lucky are we that we have this tournament here in Central Ohio? I mean, because this is a major, in my opinion, and the players that come here. I mean, you think about the players we've seen over the years, Tiger Woods, and just the best of the best, and Greg Norman during his days. I mean, we're lucky, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you almost have to have a little bit of a pinch me moment sometimes when you take a look at the kind of pro golfers we're getting to cover in our literal backyard. I mean, I go back to, Dom, that photo of you with Tiger Woods when you were, young and you got the dark hair going on. Like, you have to remember that
when you were better looking.
When you were, well, Adam said it, not me. But it's true. It's one of those things where not only are we getting to cover these pro golfers, but Jack Nicklaus is around this course. We see him every day there. We get to talk to him. We get to really know him. And I mean, Dan Sullivan, Dom, you talked to him the other day. He said, in all 50 years, I think this is the strongest field that we've had. That is a huge statement because the best of the best are coming to Muirfield next week. And I mean, shoot, guys, we get to cover it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. Skip, you grew up in Central Ohio like me. And I remember when I was a little boy, on the way to Plain City, driving through Dublin, and it was nothing. With that said, Jack and Barbara Nicklaus's fingerprints are all over the city of Dublin. And, Dublin really owes them a debt of gratitude because I believe what Dublin's become is because of them.
Yeah, what was Dublin before this tournament? When you look at it, I mean, it was just a small little village. And now it's a metropolis when you go through there. And a lot of it is because, the majority of it, as you mentioned, Dom, is because of this golf tournament and what it has become, not just a staple in Columbus and really all of Ohio, but specifically really put Dublin on the map.
Adam, you also grew up here in Central Ohio. And I'm going to ask you this because your screensaver on your computer is a certain golfer. You grew up here watching the Memorial Tournament as a kid, watching a guy named Tiger Woods dominate at Muirfield Village. growing up, what was that like for you, knowing that the second greatest golfer in the world was dominating Jack's place?
That's really interesting, Tom. I never thought about that. But Tiger Woods is one of my all-time favorite athletes. I understand right now, so it's an interesting time to say that. But I think it probably was, because every spring I got to go watch him just absolutely tear it up at Jack Nicklaus's course and win it more than anyone else. And seeing the aura that surrounded him, and really the aura that surrounds the Memorial Tournament is truly amazing. I said yesterday that it's such an event in Columbus. It's like you take, no matter what you're doing, no matter how important your week is, you got to find one day out there. And Friday is one of my favorite days of the entire year in Columbus, because everybody, it feels like every person you've ever met in Central Ohio is out at that 14th green. They've had a beverage or two, some of them Diet Coke, some of them other things, and everybody's enjoying what is this great golf tournament. And you're right, to watch Tiger, I think that's a big reason why he's my favorite athlete, is because I got to see that chip on 16 in person, and that's something that you never really forget. So that's what makes this so special.
Nicole, you've had the pleasure of covering a couple memorials. You're a Cali girl, but with that said, there's a new guy by the name of Scottie Scheffler, who's pretty hot these days too. He's, some say he's the next Tiger. With that said, he has won.
Whoa, Dom.
He's won 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And has a chance to three-peat like Tiger. I mean, and the course seems to suit Scottie.
It does. I think Scottie thrives at Jack's course. I mean, you've watched him play this tournament, win it the past 2 years, and Dom, you say he could be the next Tiger Woods. Well, guess who's the only guy who's won 3 straight Memorial tournaments? Tiger Woods. Scottie Scheffler has a chance to do that and to tie that record. And I mean, you just have heard Scottie talk about it over the years. It's not about the fact, this is a really hard golf course. It's one of the most challenging courses in the country. These guys know that, but of course, a guy like Scottie feels very confident in his abilities on a course like Jack's course. But what I think is really cool about all of it is that they look forward, of course, to playing this, but all the players will say, I can't wait to shake Jack's hand. I want to shake Jack's hand at the end of this. And that's something Scottie continued to tell us is, yes, of course you want to win it, but that moment is a moment that these guys will never forget if they get to live it.
What golf course is not Scottie Scheffler's golf course?
Yeah.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Exactly.
He's pretty hot, Skip.
Yeah.
But, Skip, talking about the field, and, Adam and Nicole both talked about how this might be the strongest field. Dan Sullivan talked about it. I mean, it's certainly a signature event now, the Memorial Tournament. They play for a lot of money, but it's also Jack's tournament, and they all want to be here, and this year, including Rory.
Which is neat to see. I mean, last year, it just didn't feel right the way things kind of played out with McIlroy not showing up or just not playing, and then allegedly, not letting the host, Mr. Nicklaus, know that he wasn't going to come here for the week. But absolutely, the field here has always been spectacular. It's going to be one of the top fields of any event again this year as well. And real quickly, going back, it always used to be as well. Back in the day, you mentioned Tiger Woods. How about watching? We saw Jack win this thing a couple of times.
Yeah, Jack won it. Won the second
that's
one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
To host and win.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he talks about he was walking around picking up cigarettes.
That's amazing.
Because he was running a tournament. Adam, one of the reasons the pros love this place is the way they're treated. I mean, from the food they get fed to the way they are able to come here and practice. Jack thought of everything. And the thing is, this tournament and the facility really has, lasted the test of time.
Well, I think it's really interesting. Something that not a lot of people know is there's actually 2 driving ranges at the Memorial, and I think it kind of speaks to Jack thinking of everything. Is there's one at Muirfield Village where you guys, everybody can go see and watch them, and then there's one for the guys that maybe they're going through it that day, or maybe they just need a private time up on the range, and that's in a different location. And it's things like that. It's things like when they walk into the clubhouse, they feel like that they have been there, a member. They're a member there from the second they walk in, how they're treated. And then I think a lot of it goes back to how Dublin, Ohio, and how Central Ohio welcomes these guys. I don't think there are as many golf communities that welcome the best in the world the way Columbus does. I mean, they embrace what we talk about as this amazing field every single year. They know how special all this is. I think it's interesting, and Dom, if I remember right, you played in a pro-am and you were behind
2 of them.
but who was the group in front of you?
Well, that was the year we teed off on the back, and then when we made the turn to go off on the front, I saw a sea of people like I'd never seen before, and we were in the last group of the morning, and the first group of the afternoon was getting ready to go off. A guy named Gerald Ford, Sean Connery, Jack Nicklaus, and I can't remember who else, maybe Bob Hope, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Bob Hope.
And it was like, what in the world am I doing?
And, but so you see that, and like I think now to the pro-ams, recently, the amount of names that they've brought in, and they bring that in for the fans. They do that because they know everyone's going to show up. They have to wait now to release the list until like Tuesday at 11:59. They're like, okay, we'll tell people what time to be here because the whole world would show up.
Yeah.
Nicole, this will be the 51st Memorial Tournament, 50th anniversary. With that said, the one thing that has always stayed constant with this golf tournament, the volunteers. Nearly 4,000 of them make this golf tournament go. You got to meet a lot of them, including the honorees, the ones that are honoring this year. But these people are passionate about this golf tournament.
Yeah, they love what they do. I mean, I had the chance to last year talk to a lady who had been there since the very beginning. And this year I got to talk to a volunteer who'd been there from the very start. And I asked her, I said, what brings you back every year? She said the people. Yeah. They love what they do. They've also not only, they love the fans that are there. They love working with a guy like Jack Nicklaus, but they get to know each other. And they're forming lifelong relationships that they're going to cherish for the rest of their lives. And plus, I mean, you get to be out at a beautiful golf course. You get to be hopefully in the sunshine, not in the pouring rain or things like that. But this is the kind of week that they look forward to. And the tournament cannot run without them. Let's make that very clear. And Jack Nicklaus talked about that. He told us a couple weeks ago that they're the heart and soul of this tournament. Without them, the show does not go on. And whether it's, I know, Dom, you love the Sandwich Factory. You always like to hang out with them in there.
Delicious.
Delicious, by the way, yeah. The leaderboards, running the score, all of that. They make it go. And also, they're great people on top of it.
Following up on that, Skip, what she said, this tournament could not go without them. But then you think about their volunteering and their money is going to Nationwide Children's Hospital. Once again, that's something that Jack and Barbara did by design because of their love for Columbus. And, Jack and Barbara talk about their daughter needed Nationwide Children's Hospital, and they decided then they were going to raise money for it.
And it's a great cause, and they've done it for so many years. And the amount of money that's raised is just incredible when you start thinking about what they've done year in and year out. And you mentioned Children's Hospital. That's something that they've said for years. It's something that you hope that you never need, but it's just nice to know that it's there if you ever need it.
All right, for all of you guys, we're going to do a little round robin here. Skip and you and I have been lucky enough to cover. I've watched all 50 of them, and I think I've covered 45 or 46. You're right there with me. What do we think the next 50 years are going to bring?
Boy, I don't know what the next 5 years are going to bring with you. I'll tell you this. I think that and maybe this is getting a little out there, but there's a world where we've got signature events. There's a world where in 15 years, 20 years, they've bumped certain events into a tier of their own. And you still have majors, but then you have, the players. And I would put the Memorial in that category where it earns something in its own right as well. I do think, and I don't know how this would work, but within the next 50 years, they need a Ryder Cup at the Memorial Tournament. They've had the President's Cup back in 2013.
Well, they had a Ryder Cup.
But they need it back. They need it back.
I'd like to see a major there one day.
I'd rather see the Ryder Cup back because I just think
I wouldn't mind seeing a U.S. Open. Now, it would mean I don't know that Jack would ever go along with it, but I'd like to see a major there.
We've talked about it before. He would say if they would ever to do that there would have to be a year without a Memorial Tournament.
You can't do that.
Have it twice, within three weeks of each other. Even though they did that during the COVID year, that was that was way different though. Completely different circumstances. But what Adam's point is, as far as the next 50 years, you don't know. But one thing I can guarantee you is that this will always be a top tier. Okay, you can have any number of tiers that you want to have. The Memorial Tournament will always be a tier 1 event, if not a major championship one day.
And Nicole, Jack Nicklaus's name will always be associated. And I mean, let's face it, he's the greatest golfer of all time, and Tiger's right behind him, but Jack still won more majors than anyone. With that said, this has been a couple memorials for you. What is your favorite thing about covering the memorial, and where does the milkshake rate?
I was about to say milkshake's got to be up there. The Buckeye flavor, it's so good. There's so many great things about it, just from the environment that you're in. You kind of have those pinch me moments of I get to cover this for my job. But I gotta say, I love the Pro-Am. I think the Pro-Am is really, really fun because, like Adam said, the fans come out there, they're having a good time. You're getting to see kind of the mix of the pro golfers with a guy like Luke Bryan out there, Ryan Day and Nick Saban were out there, Steph Curry. It's just a really fun atmosphere for everybody. But, I mean, of course, you also love Championship Sunday. You can't not love that.
All right, we're going to start with you, and then we're going to go around. Your favorite memorial moment?
My favorite memorial moment? I mean, it's got to be last year for me. That was my first year covering the Memorial Tournament. It's got to be being right there watching Scottie Scheffler clinch his second straight Memorial Tournament.
Your favorite, and I know Tiger.
Well, I got a lot of great Tiger moments, but I think my favorite has to be watching Victor Hovland come back and win a few years ago, just because I picked him, and to watch him come all the way back and be able to rub it in your face was the greatest thing I've ever experienced.
That's your favorite moment. Your favorite moment.
Besides Jack's win, his first win in '77, my favorite moment, and you know me, I'm a little bit out there anyways, Dom, was thinking back to Tom Watson's 69 in 1979. And it was like, I don't know,
30 degrees.
It was so cold. They should not have been playing golf that day. For him to shoot 69 in those conditions was
it was
an incredible moment. I felt like I was the only person out there. I wasn't, but there was nobody there because the conditions were horrible.
I've got two.
Okay.
One is '84 when Jack won it, and he hit out of bounds and he beat Andy Bean in sudden death. That was amazing. And then the other favorite moment is Paul Azinger when he chipped in on 18 to win the tournament and beat the late great Payne Stewart. And Tiger, he's had so many.
Yeah.
I mean, just
there is one moment that jumps out to me. I was having a little fun with when we were on 18 one time. I looked up and Jack had tears in his eyes, and I thought, man, what an amazing moment. The players were coming up. I can't remember who was the winner that year, but I remember thinking, what an unbelievable moment. He's just taken it all in, this amazing tournament that he's built. And that's probably actually my favorite moment.
The biggest favorite moment is I love it when Jack gets the handshake.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
when he gets the hand, because that's really... All right, moment of truth time. We're going to start ladies first. Who is your winner? Who wins Jack's tournament this year?
Adam's going to say, oh, of course you're picking that. But I'm sticking with my guns, what I said earlier. I think Scottie Scheffler ties Tiger Woods and wins 3 straight Memorial Tournaments. Jack said it himself. Scottie has been second as of late. He's tired of it. He's going to take it home.
And I know you got a problem with it, but let me just tell you. Let me remind you one more time. The point of this is to pick who you think's going to win. So go ahead.
I'm just worried about the limb of the tree you guys are going out on. All right. I was going to say maybe pick a secondary option. That way you have 2 guys.
No, go ahead. Who's going to win?
I'm torn between Cam Young or Ludwig Oberg, but I think I'm going to lean into Cam Young. But then Ludwig's always got my heart. He just can't finish. He just can't finish a tournament, so I think I got to give it to Cam.
You get one name.
You get one name, Cam Young.
Cam Young. How do you see it?
Boy, I'm going way out on this limb here. You ready for this? I always go back to last year and see who was right there. How about a Sepp Straka?
Ooh,
oh, I like Sepp Straka.
Like
that's a good one.
The worst tan line ever.
He takes that hat off. It's unbelievable.
Well,
he's always around the top of the leaderboard.
Well, get ready. You can yell at me. I'm going with Nicole. And my motto is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Scottie Scheffler loves this golf course. And Jack told us the other day, he's been second. He's ready. He's hungry. He wants to come in. He loves this golf course. He loves this tournament. It'll be a three-peat for Scottie because he's chasing greatness too. So there you have it. I got Scottie. You got Scottie. You got who again?
Cam Young.
Or
Ludwig.
No, you get one.
And Sepp. Sepp there you go. All right, that's going to do it. We love covering the Memorial Tournament, and we are the luckiest folks in the world because we get to cover it. We get to be around Jack Nicklaus, and you know this will be like 46 for me. It's just been what a pleasure it's been to been around those guys. Practice rounds start on Monday, and do yourself a favor, keep it on 10 TV. Our streaming app, and 97.1 The Fan. Check this man out on Saturdays, Tee to green, what time?
9 a.m. Saturday morning.
9 a.m. Saturday morning. He can make your golf game even better by listening to him, the one and only Skip Mosic. We'll see you, and keep it on, all of us, because we'll take care of you.